Hello guys, I'm Roy. Welcome back to this Unreal Engine tutorial in Spanglish. So they requested to do like a first person elevator controller. Very. So let's go into it and let's set up the environment first for the first person because he specifically asked for it to be first person. And here I have the template for third person, and I preset the stuff because if you're watching this video, you should already watch all the previous videos on how to set up the elevator and the actor, the blueprint. So here I will go over the things that you should already know. I'm just walking you through of how I set it up. Then for the next video, where we're gonna actually move the elevator based on the level that we select. Let's move on. So here I have a basic third person template, but when you walk on the elevator platform, it goes to first person. And then if you go forward to the control panel, you can press E, uh, and then it goes into the mouse interface. So you can select first level, second level, and third level. But we're not there yet. Uh, I'm gonna walk you through setting up this kind of environment. Then if you can uh, move backwards, it goes back to be first person, right? And once you walk outside the elevator, it goes back to be third person. So if you go inside the elevator, first person, you select the control panel, you can have the mouse interface, you get out the control panel, you go back to first person, and you get out the elevator, you go back to third person, right? So let's start on that and walk you through the basic setting. So here I created a mouse interface blueprint. So you do that by right click, blueprint class, select the player controller, and then just name it mouse interface or however you want to name it. But basically that's just a player controller actor or class. Then make sure you have a game mode. Like I said before, I'm using the third person template. I created the platform actor already, which if you watch the previous videos, you should know how to create this. And then I'm gonna walk you through of what is inside that platform actor. But let's go first into the mouse interface. So in the mouse interface, because this is what the viewer is asking for, he wants to be able to control the elevator based on the input, right? So there are many ways of doing it. I'm going, let's say, for what I believe is the basic and easiest one, which is the mouse interface. All right, guys. So here is some of the mouse interface. You have it right here. This is the mouse interface based on the player controller class or actor. Here I have two custom events. You can right click, type custom, and select custom event, name it however you want to name it, alright? And then this will be triggered by the player. And then here I have the basic variables, which you can find if you select here. Let me clear this out. So these are the variables or the functions that you want to activate to enable the mouse. But they're right here because I don't want them activate all the time. So you just activate them when you need it, and then you deactivated them when you no longer need it. right? And it's very simple. You just pull the execution wire, and then you just type mouse, and if you scroll down, you have all of them right here, the boolean variable right here, and make sure you have the context sensitive enabled to make it easier. So make sure to have this connected right here to prevent the mouse from, if you have like multiple screens and multiple displays, if you don't have that function connected, your mouse will go all over the place, and you don't want, you being playing a game, you don't want to go all over the place, hit the wrong display, then suddenly the enemy kill you. You want to prevent that. So make sure on the player controller class you add this right here to keep the mouse inside the current game, and this is the basic stuff that we're gonna add on the player controller class, which I name mouse interface. Momento, Mateo. ¿Qué pasa? Vete, un momento. Okay. Then let's continue. Let's go now to the player, which is right here. Let's go to the player now. In the player, because I like the invert mouse on the y-axis, I just added here a basic math operation to just invert the mouse. Now let's come here. I have two more custom events, right? I have two custom events, elevator control off, elevator control, and then I have the camera right here, the camera that the third person comes in place, and then I'm gonna move it just in case my before I continue, my boom is not at the standard length, it's a 250 length, all right, the boom. So make sure you have the boom that you compensate for whatever your distance of the boom is, all right. Let's go back to the event graph. So here I have the follow camera, and once I hit this trigger right here, once I hit it, I want to move the camera to make it more comfortable to use the mouse around. And then once I get out of that trigger, I want to reset the camera to what it was before, right? And then down here I have two more custom events, set first person, set third person. So what this does right here is this is gonna get the camera boom, right? And then on the player I created a socket and I named it camera head socket. So if you go to the player, if you go to the player, I created a socket. So you go to the skeleton, so I went to the head bone right here, right click and add socket, and I name it camera head socket. So what I'm doing with that socket is that I am attaching the boom to that socket, and then I'm telling the character to rotate with the mouse rotation, left or right or jaw, and set the location of the camera to first person. So if we go here and I hit play real quick, you see how I can rotate the camera around the character. But if I go inside the elevator, now if I rotate the camera, the character rotate with it. All right. So that's all that is doing.